It seems as though at this point, the Pittsburgh Steelers trading for wide receiver Brent Aiyuk is just not going to happen and is completely fell apart. So, obviously, within the last couple months, news has come out, Pittsburgh Steelers interested in Brent Aiyuk. But the last kind of week, things have picked up. And it seems as though a deal was going to get done within days, within hours. But now weeks have gone by and still nothing on Brent Aiyuk to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And it seems as though the 49ers just don't know what they're doing. They don't know what direction they want to go with him, signing, trading, doing whatever. At one point, it was looking promising. Now it does not. But anyway, before we get more into it, make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications for everything Pittsburgh Steelers news and updates. Also, like the video. Now let's get right back into it. This offseason, it seems as though we've been stuck in a loop as fans. Reports saying the Steelers are interested in Brent Aiyuk. Reports saying it's not going to happen. He's going to sign a contract extension. Then reports saying a deal is going to get done with the Steelers. Things are on the verge of getting done within minutes. But then nothing happens again. It seems like we've just been in a constant loop of rumors and the same thing happening every single week, every single month, with Brent Aiyuk to the Pittsburgh Steelers and then not to the Pittsburgh Steelers to the back to the 49ers. And we've been in this constant loop. So the Steelers, at this point, you just have to imagine that they're going to go into the season with the wide receivers they have right now. Arthur Smith said that he's fine with the wide receivers we have. And honestly, it might be better just long-term looking at this team in terms of contract situations and also draft compensation. At this point, you just have to believe in whatever the Steelers are doing and go into this season with this team and ready to win with this team. You can't be thinking about wide receivers because you just don't know what's going to happen. So, looking at Andy Weidl, however, he did talk to the media and he was asked questions about Brent Aiyuk trading for a wide receiver and just thoughts behind the thought process of trading for a veteran receiver. And he actually said this. He brought great insight into it because you have to remember he was with the Philadelphia Eagles before and he was also with the Baltimore Ravens. So you have to look at where his past was and what he did when he was assistant general manager or was with that team. And he brought up this topic when asked about trading for a veteran receiver. He said this, "I think every situation is different. You know, I've been in two different places where that has happened. Yeah, the last time was a first-round pick and a third-round pick for A.J. Brown. And Baltimore with Anquan Boldin. It's an opportunity, right? We always say right player, right price." So we just completely forgot about Andy Weidl in this situation because he did trade for those receivers. He did give up great draft compensation for those receivers. It might have not been him as the actual general manager, but he still has some decision in that or some kind of involvement in the situation. And he's been around general managers who took that risk and then end up paying out. Look at the Eagles just recently trading for A.J. Brown, being one of the best receivers now in the NFL. And it seems as though that was worth it because it broke out Jalen Hurts and was able to show what Jalen Hurts could do. And maybe it breaks out Russell Wilson from his little slump that he's in. Maybe it gives Justin Fields a bigger target and a better opportunity if he has more receivers. So you just have to look at the right opportunity. And as he said, right player, right price. So that's his thoughts on the trade situation. But just in general, it's been in a constant loop and it seems as though things have fell apart. Kyle Shanahan continues to make kind of rumors, kind of media attention by saying things aren't really going as planned and things are in a constant loop as well with the contract negotiations. In his recent interview done like a couple days ago, he said basically they've made no improvements on contract negotiations. So he's been the one kind of stirring the rumors, and that's where it all comes from. The contract negotiations and not having anything play out in that area, because then the trade speculation starts happening because of that. So that's basically where it all starts, but it's all getting mixed together. Everything keeps happening, everything keeps saying something, and then nothing happens. That's just where we've been at. So anyway, this is basically your update on Brent Aiyuk, that there's no update and things are still where it was months ago. Now, moving over to the second topic of this video. Apparently, the Pittsburgh Steelers have some type of interest in JuJu Smith-Schuster because he was recently released earlier in the month by the New England Patriots. So now he's a free agent, and maybe the Pittsburgh Steelers look to bring him back. He's still, like 27 years old? He's still young in terms of football years. Yes, his knees and his injury history might not be where you want it to be, and he might not be the player he used to be. He's still very young, so he could have still more time in this league to get back to where he used to be. And maybe all he needs to do is revive his career as a Pittsburgh Steeler, because it just seems like everyone who leaves the Steelers as a wide receiver just does not pan out. From Chase Claypool to Antonio Brown to JuJu Smith-Schuster, it seems like it all just doesn't pan out. So maybe coming back to the Steelers could really help his career. And honestly, just looking at this topic in general with JuJu Smith-Schuster, coming back to the Steelers, I believe could actually help this team. Because obviously, they really have George Pickens, Van Jefferson, Calvin Austin. Those are the 3 wide receivers. But outside of those 3, plus Roman Wilson, who's coming back from an ankle injury, so basically those 4 wide receivers, the 5th or 6th wide receiver is really up in the air. Everything is kind of around who is going to win the camp battle, who's going to win the preseason battle, who's going to make this team as the 5th, or if they carry 6, who's going to win those last 2 wide receiver spots. It could be Scotty Miller, Quez Watkins, Des Fitzpatrick, who knows? It could be someone else that we don't expect either. So they really have 2 wide receiver spots open, or if they only keep 5, then 1. So that last spot could be open. And having JuJu Smith-Schuster come in and battle for that spot, or come in, could really help, because he is that slot receiver the Pittsburgh Steelers need and have had in the past. Just remember, when he was here, he was playing the slot, and that's something the Pittsburgh Steelers needed. And I've seen some people say, just on social media as fans, is JuJu Smith-Schuster really better than Scotty Miller? Really better than Des Fitzpatrick? Well, yes, he is. He was on the Patriots. He was barely getting targeted, but he was still having an impact on their team. He was their possession wide receiver, and sometimes the reason why they won games late in the season, because it was possession catches and him just being a secure catcher. And that's what he is, a secure catcher. He wasn't someone who's going to drop footballs. Yes, he made some fumbles, but like other than that, he was a possession catch wide receiver, and he doesn't drop the ball much. So he could really help this team in the slot. And what do the Steelers need? A slot receiver. Yes, they have Calvin Austin. They have Roman Wilson to potentially play the slot. But having someone with experience play the slot, it's not like you have to play JuJu Smith-Schuster anyway. Him coming to this team, it's not like you're going to have to play him. Him coming in as a big name receiver, and you just have to have him as a starter. No, he just got released, so you could play him however you want to play him. You're doing him a favor by signing him. Also, he's coming in, and the reason why he was released by the Patriots, Gerard Mayo, their head coach, said, was to give the young guys opportunity, because those young guys are trying to develop. Patriots are obviously not a winning football team as of right now, so why not have the wide receivers develop and see what the young guys can do. Also, they're going to be paying some of his contract as well, I believe like $7 million. So he's going to be coming into the Pittsburgh Steelers or whatever NFL team signs him and basically playing for the minimum. So him being on a minimum contract, you don't expect much, but him coming in could actually help this team. I know all the TikToks that he's done, all the dances that he does, that maybe you don't want him to come in because of that. He doesn't do that anymore. From what I've seen, he doesn't really post on social media anymore like that. Yes, he may do it once in a while, but as he used to, it's not like he's doing it before every single game or multiple times per week like he was doing back when he was a Pittsburgh Steeler. So he's not a distraction as many people put him out to be. And to be honest, him coming in, I know some people don't like him for whatever reason. When he was here, he was always a true Pittsburgh Steeler. Pittsburgh Steeler took less money from the Ravens. Took less money to not join the Ravens and still return to the Pittsburgh Steelers. So he was a true Pittsburgh Steeler when he was here, but obviously this is just rumors of Steelers being involved and maybe interested in the return of him. But anyway, we're getting to the point in the offseason where these rumors now just don't matter anymore because football is back. The first preseason game already happened. The second one is on Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So we're getting to the point where at least football is back and we don't care about the rumors anymore. So that being said, let me know your thoughts on the comments below on the topics of this video. Brandon Aiyuk, nothing happening, everything falling apart it seems like, being stuck in a loop. Also, JuJu Smith-Schuster, the rumors about that. Would you want him back? Would you not want him back? Let me know your thoughts. Anyways, that's the end of this video. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications for everything Pittsburgh Steelers news, updates, everything. I've covered all. I'll continue to cover all. And until next time, I'll see you guys all later. I'm out. Peace.